But staying with the earnings, you have Thermax as well, which has reported numbers. Let's just quickly pull up that stock on the screens and see what's happened. The profits have actually dropped by around 51%. Revenues have gone up, margins have taken a hit. Still, you do see the stock which is trading in the positive with gains of around 2.4% coming in there. In fact, we at NDTV did speak to the management as well. You have Ashish Bhandari, who's the Managing Director and CEO at Thermax. Let's listen out to what he had to say.
Forgetful quarter for sure. We finished below my expectations, some surprises, you could say. Some things that we could have done better. I think if there was any good news, to me it was that there wasn't a structural miss, so to say, and I expect a very good Q4. And I've got three reasons for that. Yeah, first, on the revenue side, we missed more than 500 crores of revenue, which was relatively profitable, had more than 10% profitability, more than 60 crores sitting out there that we could not ship in the last 2 weeks of the quarter. Variety of different reasons, but bottom line, we did miss. We recovered that in January pretty quickly, which showed it wasn't a structural shift. And then this quarter, we're just monitoring it week to week to make sure that there are no slips on what happens on the revenue side. Second, on the projects bit, which is where we have had a fair bit of pain through the year. Two of our worst projects, or two portions of our worst projects, went through their worst portions in this last quarter. One was FGD, where one particular FGD project, which was the earliest one we had taken, finally went through its final bit. So it had a lot of losses that got reconciled at the end. And bio-CNG, which is a growth sector for us, but with a lot of learning, where a lot of that learning is over. There may still be some pain, but that pain won't be as bad as what we went through last quarter. And finally, on the orders side, there are two parts to the orders side. Yeah, one, you will see industrial products, which is the relatively profitable part of Thermax. There we grew our orders by 40%. And overall, the backlog there has grown quite well. The portion which is less profitable, which is the government projects, which are typically large, we didn't get anything in the last quarter. Yeah, and we were okay to not bid on less profitable projects and work the business towards a better margin profile long term. So some of that impact we saw. But I think even there, I expect better times ahead because our pipeline of big projects now has also grown quite substantially.
Noted. Okay, so well, all the best for the good Q4. Does the I mean the opinion around what the budget does for CAPEX is divided, if you will, Ashish. The headline numbers on that day seemed disappointing, and then we had a series of people who came in and said that if you couple the number which has been kept steady, or a 10% growth versus the revised base, plus the grants being given to states for the numbers, then the actual number is not bad on that base. Because you call a spade, I would love to know how you thought about those numbers and what the government has done in the budget.
I think they've taken a very sensible path forward. Ultimately, for us to grow, private CAPEX is the one that needs to come in. And for private CAPEX, the simple fact is demand. And how do you help demand, both domestically and internationally? I think that is the focus. Actually, I would have liked to see more on the international support, especially when the rupee is now better positioned. The US will go through an interesting portion. This is a time to perhaps give boost to exports on many different fronts. I think would have liked to see more out there, but otherwise a sensible budget. And even
that's the management of Thermax. But quickly, M&M numbers are